Hi everyone, welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
And I'm Chickling.
And we're talking about really old stuff. Really old stuff. Yeah, so we're actually talking not quite about history today, but about something that people discovered in Tynan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which I thought was really, really cool. It's actually in the field of archaeology.
Wow, 考古学.
Yeah, which means just, the study of ancient humans, because it takes a lot of study to actually understand what ancient humans were all about, because they only are able to leave behind certain things. So what do you know about ancient cultures in different parts of the world? Like, what were some early human cultures?
Well, I've heard that the earliest evidence of modern human behavior was found in southern Africa.
Ah.
Yeah, and the first poison was invented or discovered there.
First poison?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
so they were already poisoning each... Wow.
It's like 40,000 years ago.
Huh. Wow.
Okay.
I mean, I guess if you discover something which can, make you really sick, then you'd want other people to know that it would make you really sick and not be a good food.
Right.
Yeah. I think of Sumeria, which is in the Middle East, and it's in modern-day Iraq.
Okay.
And it was the first human civilization, really big one. It was city-states where they had big cities that were full of, thousands of people, and they had religion, and they had pottery, and they had writing. They had the first writing. It was really cool. And reading the stories that they left behind, they have, their own heroes, their own gods, and they have really interesting stories. Yeah, kind of lets you know what people were like back then.
Right.
Yeah. But of course, Taiwan has its own ancient culture, as there were humans here a long, long time ago. Yeah, so they made some discoveries about this recently, and we're going to learn about those.
Reading.
Tainan's Museum of Archaeology takes visitors back in time. In 1995, an amazing discovery was made in southern Taiwan. Workers were beginning the construction of the Tainan Science Park when they found tools, pottery, and human remains in the earth. This was the first of 82 archaeological sites they discovered in the surrounding areas over the next 20 years. Last year, that same discovery led to the opening of Tainan's new Museum of Archaeology. The museum opened in October 2019 as the first center of its kind in southern Taiwan. It displays some of the 8 million historical finds that were dug up in the area. These include objects belonging to early Han Chinese settlers and the local Saraya people. Many of the older pieces, though, are up to 5,000 years old. These pieces cast new light on the lives of early Taiwanese people. One example is a jade necklace made out of 188 tiny pieces. It is believed that the stone for these pieces came from Hualien. This suggests that early humans traveled great distances to trade with each other. Meanwhile, a number of headless skeletons are a sign that they also practiced headhunting.
Okay, our article starts off today by saying, in 1995, an amazing discovery was made in southern Taiwan. So 25 years ago. Yeah. So discovery here is a noun that means something you find or see or know for the first time, or for the first time in a long time. It's something new to you, so you might be amazed by it, or it can make you feel some strong emotions. Discoveries could be good or bad. In this case, it's pretty exciting. Discoveries can be really exciting. It's from the verb discover, which comes from dis, meaning un or undo, and cover would be hide. So unhide would be to discover something. Then when you add a Y to it, it's something you discover. It's a discovery. And you can make a discovery. So here's an example sentence with that. Caleb made an amazing discovery the other day. He found an old box of treasures hidden behind his wall. Cool.
Yeah. 所以 discovery 就是被发现的事物。在1995年 it's like a year after I was born.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, 所以台湾 so that's a long time ago.
I was 7 at the time.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
所 所以在1995年的时候呢，台湾南部有个非常惊人的发现。所以 the discovery of something 就是某事的发现哦。所以我们可以说 the discovery of oil brought benefits to the country. 那么 discovery we can take out the y, it will become the verb, 就变成发现的意思 discover. Let's make a sentence with the verb form. Joseph was mad when he discovered that his sister had taken his toy.
Oh, no. Yeah, so now you know Discovery Channel where that word comes from because you're always discovering things on Discovery Channel. Anyway, the article goes on to say what this discovery was. Workers were beginning the construction of the Tynan Science Park when they found tools, pottery, and human remains in the earth. Whoa. Now, if I found that stuff, I'd be like, holy cow, this is cool. Especially if you find, human remains, which would be skeletons, bones, people. Anyway, so the construction of the Tynan Science Park is what they were doing. And construction is a noun that talks about the time and the process of when something is being built or improved. Now, when you see construction or you talk about construction, it's usually you have big cars that can dig and move dirt, carry heavy things, or like steamrollers, which can flatten stuff, like flattening roads. And there's a lot of people working on it, wearing hard hats and doing hard work. That's construction. Now, anything that people make that is really big, part of a city or a part of a town, is constructed, which is the verb. Now, buildings, roads, bridges, these might all be under construction, any big thing made by humans. You could also say that workers were beginning to build the Tynan Science Park. Construction is just another way of saying they were building it. Now, an example sentence might be, the road that goes to my house is having some construction done on it, and soon it will be much smoother and nicer.
然后在 construction 就是建造、修筑的意思。那么正在建造中，我们可以说 to be under construction。所以譬如说 their new office is still under construction。那么 construct 就是它的动词哦，所以你也可以造一个句子说A railroad was just constructed in my town. 所以我们文章就提到啦，工人们开始台南科学园区的建造工程时候，他们忽然在土里发现一些的东西。那么 tool 这边指的是工具。那么 what else did they find? Pottery? What does pottery stand for?
Well, pottery is a noun that talks about certain objects. It's like bowls, pots, cups, sculptures, plates, stuff like that. The key thing is that they're made out of clay and they're fired in a hot oven. So it's this certain process and, it's pottery. A person who makes pottery is somebody called a potter, which is what Harry Potter is named after. It's literally his last name, Potter. It takes some skill to do, but pottery is one of the oldest kinds of man-made objects, and it can actually tell us a lot about history because it shows different art and it shows different ways of being made. For example, like Greek pottery shows scenes of heroes fighting battles on the outside, and all the jars come in a lot of different styles. They have different purposes. They're really well made. It's really cool. Pottery is still really useful in everyday life too. So like if you're drinking coffee out of a coffee mug or eating rice out of a rice bowl, you're using pottery. That's an example of it. Now, an example sentence for pottery might be, I took a pottery class where I got to make my own bowls and cups from red clay.
所以其实 pottery 就是陶器跟陶制器皿的意思。所以他们除了在里面发现工具以外，他们还发现了陶器啊，跟这个 human remains 代表是人类的骨骸的意思。And besides meaning objects are made out of clay by hand, pottery also means the skill or activity of making clay objects by hand.
Right.
对，所以就像老师刚刚提到的那个陶艺课，我们可以说是 pottery class， 所以我们可以造另外一个句子 Cooper is currently taking classes in pottery.
So yeah, just like a painting, and the process is also called painting. So you make pottery by doing pottery. Yep. Anyway, so the article goes on to say this was the first of 82 archaeological sites they discovered in the surrounding areas over the next 20 years. That's a lot. That's a crazy find. I think if I was an archaeologist, I'd be super excited about that. Yeah, so surrounding here is this adjective saying the surrounding areas. Now, it's a way of describing the things or areas that circle or are all around something. So if these areas surround, that's the verb, the first archaeological site, that means there are many other areas around it or close to it. They don't have to be touching, but they could be somewhat close. Now, other words like this might be nearby, the nearby areas, or the wider area, or even kind of the same area if you're talking about a big area. Usually we say surrounding about a larger area, like anywhere from buildings, the surrounding houses, up to something in space, like the surrounding galaxies. Yeah, now we can also add an S, and then you get surroundings, which is a noun meaning the things around you, or the environment around you. Now, an example sentence for surrounding the adjective might be, although most of the area's jobs are in the middle of the city, the people working there have their homes in the surrounding towns.
OK， 所以 surrounding 就是形容词，它是周围的、四周的意思。那么 surroundings， 老师刚刚提到，它就是 the environment 的意思，或者是 the area where something lives or something exists 都可以，就是你的环境。那我们可以造一个句子 ：It took her a long while to adapt herself to her new surroundings. 那么 we can make this a verb by taking off ing at the end， 就会变成 surround。And that means 环绕或包围。那我们再造一个句子 Calvin enjoys being surrounded by young girls.
Okay, Calvin, if you say so.
所以你可以知道说，这是他们接下来在20年中在周围地区发现了82个考古遗址中的第一个，所以是第一个找到的。那么这边出现的 archaeological 就是考古学的或考古的，那么场所遗址就是我们 site 这个字。
Yeah, so archaeological is an interesting word because it's got, these Latin roots, which I really like. Also, I think they're actually Greek, sorry. So archae means ancient, and then logi is study, so it's like the study of ancient things. Yeah, it's really cool. Anyway, the article, let me stop nerding out here. The article says, last year, that same discovery led to the opening of Tainan's new Museum of Archaeology.
Okay.
Yeah, so lead to. Yeah, it led to the opening. So that means that, the discovery of all these places led to something. If A leads to B, that means B happens because A happened first. So you think of it as a road. The road leads to somewhere. The first event leads to the later event, or it causes it.
所以代表说是促成导致嘛。那么 archaeology 就是考古学的意思。所以去年呢，这同样的发现就促成了台南新的考古博物馆的开张。那这座博物馆的全名叫做国立台湾史前文化博物馆南科考古馆哦。
The article says the museum opened in October 2019 as the first center of its kind in southern Taiwan.
所以博物馆呢就在2019年10月开幕，是台湾南部的首座考古馆 the first one.
Wow, so that means that these discoveries might have been like the first big ones that they made in that area. That's pretty cool. And how many of them there were. So the article says it displays some of the 8 million historical finds that were dug up in the area. 8 million. That's a lot. So display here is a verb that means to put something in a place specifically for people to see it or make it available for people to look at. Also, it's like a verb phrase with display as a noun where you can say put on display or just a display, which is an object being shown. Now, museums or shops or screens like your TV or computer or your phone display things like art, information, text, objects, things like that. So anything that's meant to be seen and viewed purposely is a display. So an example sentence might be, right now the shop is displaying some clothing from its summer collection in the front window.
Okay, 所以 display 就是陈列或者展出。So besides meaning arrange in a collection of things for the public to see, it can also mean to show a feeling, 就代表表露你的情感的意思。But here in the article, it's a verb. We can use it as a noun as well. For instance, a fireworks display 有烟火秀的意思。那么这座博物馆内呢，展出了该地区挖掘的800万个历史发现中的一部分。800万个，好多哦。
Yeah, I can't imagine how long it must have taken. I mean, it started 25 years ago, so it probably has taken this whole 25 years, and I bet you they're still finding new things.
Right.
Yeah.
So they phrase, dig something up, to dig something up.
Yeah, they dug it all up.
Yeah, say dig, dug, dug, 挖出来。
So article goes on to say, these 8 million things include objects belonging to early Han Chinese settlers and the local Siraya people. So we've got both people from China and people originating in Taiwan.
OK. 所以 settler 就是移居者、拓荒者哦。那么其中包含早期汉人定居者跟当地西拉雅人的物品。
Okay, so the Siraya people are like the Aboriginal tribe that is in that area, right? Cool. Very cool. All right, so the article goes on to say many of the older pieces, though, are up to 5,000 years old. That's pretty dang old.
Yeah, 所以很多更古老的物品，甚至有5000年之久的历史。
These pieces cast new light on the lives of early Taiwanese people. Now, when we say we cast new light on something or something casts new light on something, it means it shows something in a different way or lets people understand more about it than they could before by giving it new information. So especially when discoveries are made about old human societies, those discoveries can cast new light on things we didn't know about.
所以 cast new light on something 就是有使人们更了解。所以呢，这些文物让我们更加了解台湾人民的生活。
Yeah, so what is one of these examples? One example, the article says, is a jade necklace made out of 188 tiny pieces. Jade. Jade is nice. There's lots of jade in Taiwan. So it's made out of 188 pieces. So it's a necklace, and the person who made it used those 188 jade pieces to make it. So we have these 3-4-ish phrases, made out of or made of, made with, and made from. They're all kind of similar, but they're used in a little bit different ways. So if you say something is made out of something, it means the material didn't go through a big change to make the item. So in this case, the jade stones are still obviously jade stones. However, if we say that it's made from jade stones, that means they would have gone through a chemical change. So maybe they would have been crushed and turned into a powder or mixed with something else to turn them into thread, something like that. So they wouldn't be recognizable as jade anymore. That's when we say made from, that's what we mean.
好，所以就是老师刚刚讲的那个记一下 made from 就是有经过一个化学变化 made of 就是没有，可能你可以说 the table is made of wood 那么或者是 the wine is made from grapes 又有经过一个
You can't see the grapes.
Right 就是有一个变化了那么 jade 就是玉的意思所以这边再讲一下就是由什么制成嘛 be made out of something 那么其中一个例子呢就是有188个细小碎片制成的玉项链
Yeah, and it's really cute. It looks like something that I think people would like to wear today. Like it's got these little tiny rough pieces of jade that just looks like long kind of cylindrical beads. Yeah, I think it's really nice.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the article goes on to say, it is believed that the stone for these pieces came from Hualien.
Oh,
That's kind of far from Tynan. If you're thinking about not having a car, not having horses, not having any of that, having to walk, that's far.
Yeah, it's far.
Yeah.
好，那么这边看到一个用法 It is said, it is believed, it is reported that 这边就是来表示据说、据信、据报道的意思。那么这边的 it 是虚主词哦 that 引导的名词子句才是真正的主词。我们可以把这个句型改写成不定词的结构，变成 It is said, it is believed, it is reported that 怎么样怎么样，可以改成主词先写变成主词 is said or believed or reported to blah 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 所以 that 子句的时态是过去式或完成式的时候我们的不定词就要改成 to have 加上 past participle 没关系我们看一下课文的句子我们改写一下你们就知道所以原本是 It is believed that the stone for these pieces came from Hualien 那我们可以把它改写成 The stone for these pieces is believed to have come from Hualien we can also make another sentence, okay?
Yeah.
Using this example. 所以你可以说 It is said that this plant is able to heal certain illnesses. 那我们可以改成 This plant is said to be able to heal certain illnesses. 所以代表这种植物呢，据说可以治疗某些疾病哦。
And what is that plant?
I don't know.
I don't know
Some
either.
herbs.
Well, apparently aspirin is made out of willow tree bark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that. The Egyptians knew that, so they used to chew on it when they were in pain.
Okay.
Yeah. That was something I learned recently. I was like, oh, okay. They knew something.
Okay.
All right. So then the article goes on to say, this suggests, the stones coming from Hualien, suggests that early humans traveled great distances to trade with each other. Yeah, because they had to walk from Tynan to Hualien and back. So suggest would be a verb that means to show that something is possibly true or might be true. You don't know 100%, but it seems likely that it is true. It's probably true. You can tell it means this when it's a fact suggesting another fact. So this suggests that something, verbs, just a normal verb. But when a person suggests something, so somebody suggests that somebody, and then you use an infinitive verb, it means to say, why don't we? Or give someone advice. Saying something would be a good idea. The noun for this would be a suggestion. So I've got a couple of example sentences showing that a fact suggests a fact, and then a person suggests some advice. So the example one would be, the white hair all over the sofa suggests that the person who lives here has a pet dog. Yeah, that definitely would make. That would be probably true. Now an example of a person suggesting something. Since I was so tired, my mom suggested that I go to bed early. Notice I didn't say I went to bed early, I go to bed early.
OK， 所以 suggest 就是暗示意味着嘛，所以意味着早期人们呢必须经过非常遥远的路途来跟彼此做交易。那代表其实花莲到台南很远，刚刚我们都有提到。那么 suggest 老师刚刚讲到那个意思有建议提议。Let's make another sentence with it. I suggest that you think twice before making any decisions.
That's a good suggestion.
Yay!
All right, now the article goes on to say what else they found. So they've got this jade necklace with stones from Hualien. Meanwhile, a number of headless skeletons, are a sign that they also practiced headhunting.
Oh, that's
brutal.
Boy!
Yeah.
所以 skeleton 骨骸，就是他们找到骨头，代表他们以前可能有一些猎人头的行为。
Yeah, so I think headhunting is kind of a common thing with ancient tribes of many different places in the world, where if you can get your enemy's head, you're like a strong warrior. Yeah.
I'm so glad it doesn't happen anymore.
Me too. I was about to say the same thing. Yeah. So, the world has changed a lot.
Okay.
But anyway, that's the first day of talking about some of these discoveries. We're going to learn more about different ones that they found and things that they mean and how these are helping the Tynan Archaeology Museum. But right now, we're going to go to our day one For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, our For You chat question. What do you know about Taiwan's prehistoric cultures? That means cultures before history. Do you think they're similar to or different from old Chinese culture? It's a good question.
Yeah, the prehistoric culture of Taiwan actually lasted for more than 15,000 years.
You mean in terms of when did it end?
Yeah, it ranges from the late Paleolithic age and Neolithic age to the Iron Age.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the whole...
But their Iron Age was kind of later than most of the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Iron Age just means they were using iron tools at that time. But I think the Iron Age for most of the world was in BC. And by the time it reached Taiwan, it was already AD.
History.
I read about some of these megaliths, which are apparently these huge stones that the ancient people of Taiwan put upright. Probably as a religious thing. They're not really sure. There's kind of a lot of mystery around them. So I'd be interested to know more about those. But anyway, there's, of course, a lot to learn about prehistoric Taiwan. And we're going to do that in day 2. So for now, we're going to say goodbye to you and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Tynan's Museum of Archaeology takes visitors back in time. In 1995, an amazing discovery was made in southern Taiwan. Workers were beginning the construction of the Tynan Science Park when they found tools, pottery, and human remains in the earth. This was the first of 82 archaeological sites they discovered in the surrounding areas over the next 20 years. Last year, that same discovery led to the opening of Tainan's new Museum of Archaeology. The museum opened in October 2019 as the first center of its kind in southern Taiwan. It displays some of the 8 million historical finds that were dug up in the area. These include objects belonging to early Han Chinese settlers and the local Saraya people. Many of the older pieces, though, are up to 5,000 years old. These pieces cast new light on the lives of early Taiwanese people. One example is a jade necklace made out of 188 tiny pieces. It is believed that the stone for these pieces came from Hualien. This suggests that early humans traveled great distances to trade with each other. Meanwhile, a number of headless skeletons are a sign that they also practiced headhunting.
Vocabulary Review.
Discovery. Janet found her dad's old guitar in the basement, and the discovery started her interest in music. Construction. Once this building's construction has been completed, it will be the tallest in the world. Pottery. Jiayi City is famous for its pottery, which is often used to decorate temple roofs. Surrounding. On weekends, Emily likes to get out of Taipei and visit the city's surrounding mountains. Display. Bridget displayed her new line of dresses in the front window of her store so that customers would buy them. Suggest. The fact that Chloe is always tired at work suggests that she is not getting enough sleep at night.
字汇小补帖
Archaeological. Site. Settler. Jade. Skeleton.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net